Welcome back to a new episode of Empowered Youth. If you are new, my name is Eli Graves, and I am the host of this podcast channel. If you like what you have been listening to, you can always follow me on the app you are listening to, and you can follow me on my Instagram account, which is eli.graves061310. I also have an Instagram account for this podcast, which is called Empowered Youth 109. Before we get into this podcast, does anyone sometimes feel like whenever you wake up, you plan your day, but those plans doesn't turn out how you wanted it to? Well, maybe you will find out why. So, this morning when I woke up, it started snowing. I didn't know it was going to snow. I don't think my parents knew that it was going to snow either. And it had been in like the 40s recently, so the snow was kind of unexpected. But later it had stopped snowing and everything dried up later for the most part. Proverbs 19:21 states, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." I'd woke up earlier than usual to go get my hair cut. When we checked if our barbershop that we went to, or that we usually go to, was open, it said it was closed, but usually it is open on Saturdays. So we had to go search for a different barbershop, which is different than our normal routines. So this morning there were two things that had changed our normal routines. These are prime examples of how quick God can change your plans. You can go from one plan and it not work out because that's not God's plan for you. God has so much in store for you. His plans are so much bigger than yours. Proverbs 19:21 states, "Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it is the Lord's purpose that prevails." This shows that God's plans come first, and it is first on the agenda, and yours is last because He knows what is going to happen. And whatever plans He changes of yours is probably for the best. God sees what is ahead of you, so you shouldn't worry or focus on the future because God's got it, and He will take care of you. All you need to do is have faith and trust that He has you and that He won't let go of you. My family and I have been doing a 21-day fast. And as much effort that I am putting into this fast right now is from God. There has been so much things during this fast that have tempted me. And God knew that the stuff that tempted me were going to tempt me. But did I fall into temptation? No, I did not. But it was because God helped me. In the Bible, Jesus fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. Satan later tempted Jesus into eating bread, but Jesus knew he was going to tempt him because he is an all-knowing person. But he did not fall into that temptation. After saying all of this, you may be thinking, God doesn't care for me because He's not letting me come up with my own plans. But in reality, He is caring for you by saying, I'm going to take your plans away and give you my plans. Because I know the future and I know what would happen to you if I let you come up with your own plans. So He is keeping you safe and out of harm's way by placing your plans with His. If you remember what I asked in the beginning of this podcast episode, I said, does anyone sometimes feel like whenever you wake up, you plan your day, but those plans doesn't turn out how you wanted it to? Well, if what I said in this episode didn't answer that question for you, Here's the answer. It is because He knows what is going to happen in the future. So if your plans will bring harm to you, then He will replace your plans with His to keep you safe. What a loving God He is. And because He does that, it should keep our worries away from us. And the fact that we can trust Him with our future and our lives takes a bunch of faith. But that faith ultimately comes from God. But we sometimes need to mesh our plans, or I should say, instead of mesh, I should say, we should be able to change our plans to what plans God has for us. Because God knows, like I've said, God knows what is in the future. So we should be able to give up our plans so we can have what God has in store for you or for me. But anyways, that was a smaller devotion. I'm sorry I couldn't come up with anything longer than that, but it's really not me coming up with it, it's God. But that is what God had told me to talk about. But I will thank you for listening. And if you want to follow me, you can, which will allow you to get updated when I post more podcasts. Also, speaking of following me, don't forget to check out my Instagram account and the Instagram account dedicated to this podcast specifically, which will allow you to get updated on when I make more posts. Through the Instagram account dedicated to this podcast, please message me any prayer requests or any podcast ideas you may have or want to hear. You can also message me if you would like to be in a podcast, though it is not guaranteed. But I hope to see you here the next time. God bless you. It's Eli, and I am out. Peace.